So if your Pioneer turntable can't do that for like a significant amount of time, I'm going to show you how to sort of fix that. Basically, before I did what I'm going to show you, which is just lubing this piece center spindle in the middle, before I did all of that, when I would push it as hard as I could, it would just move like that much and completely stop. But now it's totally smooth. The speed is a lot more consistent, and I'm just going to simply show you what you need to do. All you need for the first step is a Phillips head screwdriver. Obviously, you want to undo the belt from the motor assembly here, and the platter will just move out. Takes a little force, but comes out. All right, and I'm just going to set that aside. These little platform screws, sort of, they pivot like this, so don't unscrew them all the way. They'll originally be like here, pretty tight, and then just move them out and tighten them just a hair to be able to open up the turntable. Now, your first rule of precaution, you probably want to remove your cartridge. So I'll place that somewhere safe. And then you can kind of pick up the turntable from these two buttons, or two switches, and then just put your finger, underneath to catch it. And you'll see that this assembly right here is what we want to take out. So one hand will come here and grab, and then on the other you'll unscrew the nut right here, and that comes right out. Now it comes right out for me, but the first time that I did this, I actually had to take pliers and get this bolt off. And once you get it started, you can basically just hold this piece with your right hand, and with your left or whatever dominant hand just unscrew. And then everything will come out like this in 3 pieces, and I'll show you how to disassemble this, lube this up, because see how mine moves totally freely? And we'll take a look inside and fix this thing right up, clean it out. So here we are. Right off the bat, definitely going to need isopropyl alcohol, highest percentage you can get your hands on, and then a bunch of Q-tips. So first off, you'll notice that there's one screw here, and I was kind of confused as to what this screw was before I took it apart. But all it is, I'll show you, it comes right out. All it is that it holds, once I remove this, all it is it just holds this center spindle in, so you can't just accidentally pull the spindle out. But you'll notice mine is remarkably clean, and that's because when I took it out, it was filthy. So I took it with a paper towel and just scrubbed the spindle off to get the majority of the grease out, and then poured some alcohol into the bottle cap and used Q-tips and just ran all around the spindle a million and a half times, and did the same thing with the inner shaft, just going in and cleaning it, going all the way and going nuts. That's why these are all crooked. I was like, I put it all, and then went like this while I was pulling the Q-tip out, using generic Q-tips because they're sometimes easier to manipulate and get in everywhere and just clean the crap out of it. So much so that your last Q-tip should look something like this, where it's you went in with alcohol, you cleaned out, so many times, and this is what the last Q-tip looks like. So there's no more chunked up grease in there. This was initially so hard to remove from the spindle that I had to get 2 pairs of pliers. I didn't want to damage anything, so I wrapped the pliers in paper towels like this, and got another pair, which I don't have here, and then I just, yanked out, and this finally came out. It had just green and like yellow, dark yellow, just old grease. So then I used Hoppe's number 9 lubricating oil. This is like similar to sewing machine oil, and all I did was, it's not that hard to, like a lot of times when you're using oil, it's really easy to over lubricate, but I think for this case it's really not that hard. So I just put 1 drop on 1 drop here on this end, 1 drop here on that end, and then I just dropped 1 into the center shaft. And so the way that looks, sorry, kind of hard using a tripod. You just one drop, you'll see it form on the tip, and then it just sort of mellows out like that. The first time that I did lubricate this, I was getting an excess of like noise when I would push this in. It was like all the oil was sort of, you know, making that like bubbly noise. But after I inserted it and, you know, a few times, it sort of spread the oil, and then now you'll hear it. It makes that little squeaky sound, but it's completely free form. And then, so that's all you have to do. To recap, take this part out, clean it as best you can with paper towels, isopropyl alcohol, and Q-tips. Just really get in there. I mean, you can see all the Q-tips I have. I have about probably 10 more that I threw away already, but I wanted to like kind of show what they should really look like and what you should be getting out of that, all that gunk. And of course, you might as well clean these while you're at it, the washer and the nut. Use lubricating oil, just as I showed you. I did one drop in the actual shaft itself, 3, well initially 2, but now 3, one here and one there, just one drop each. Insert, let the oil spread. You'll feel the, you know, like if you feel like a really sort of bounciness, just take it out and put it back in. It should be firm to the bottom. There's you know, really just great machining on these parts, to be honest, so should last a very long time. You'll still see that there is a little bit of residue here, but I really can't, you know, feel that too much. You can grind away at it with Q-tips for a really long time, or you can scrub away at it with like an abrasive pad, and that should do the job just fine. So once it's all clean, just grab the screw, and I'll show you that once you actually put this screw back in, you can tighten it all the way. Even like over tightening it won't really do any harm because it still freely operates, but you just can't accidentally pull the spindle out. And yeah, so you basically just do this, but in I mean for putting this back in, you just do the first steps in reverse order, and everything will be back up and running, and that motor will freely spin. And it's actually a pretty decent motor. It's lasted this long, and the speed is still completely on point. I don't even think that I ever adjusted the speed, and it's still fine. So yeah, if you have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. Just try to be thorough with cleaning. You know, if you might as well just do a really good job taking it apart once rather than doing a lousy job and having to, you know, take it apart a dozen times. So do it right. Use highest percentage alcohol you can. Have fun with it. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to restore something this old and, you know, get it back to functioning like it did on day one. So once again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.